Hey guys, Ashley with Amare. So few resources for you guys. We are located in Elizabeth and Highland Park, New Jersey, and I also offer virtual consults. So if you guys need my help, give the office a call, 732-841-0142, and our scheduling coordinator can help you get set up with an appointment. We also have our online shop. So all the products that I talk about in my videos, those are all in our online shop for you guys to purchase. On our Instagram, Amare Healing Arts is our Instagram. All the products are linked right there in our bio. Also, the online shop is linked, and it's linked in the description box for each video. So you guys can go and check those out. And then we have our online course school, the Post-Op Academy. So all of the things that you would need to know post-op, we are doing online courses for. So things like what kind of massages you need, when you need to get them, who to get them from, how to find a therapist like me, all of that we have online courses for. There are going to be more courses coming out all the time. So check in on that to see what's new and what you guys can learn. If you like my videos, all of those courses are exclusive content. All those videos are exclusive content. None of them are on YouTube. They're all in our courses. So that is amarehealingarts.teachable.com. The link for that is also in the description box, and it is also linked in our bio on Instagram. So I hope you guys enjoy the content. Ashley with Amare. I will see you soon. Bye.
Hey guys, it's Ashley with Amare, and today we are going over the AirSculpt aftercare sheet. So just a little thing real quick. I am a plastic surgery recovery specialist, manual lymphatic drainage therapist. I do manual lymphatic drainage massage for all things, not just plastic surgery, just all swelling in general. I'm also a certified compression garment fitter. I do all plastic surgery recovery. So I already have a video about the procedure itself with AirSculpt. I did another video on the Sonobello aftercare sheet, which was all the things that they tell you to do are what's causing the fibrosis and complications after your recovery. One of the things, and I have so many posts about this, guys, one of the things AirSculpt loves to claim is that they're different than liposuction. They're not the same. Okay, yeah, your technique may be different, but it is still surgery. It's still sucking fat out of your body. You still need to prepare to do the aftercare the same exact way as if you had lipo done. So that's where a lot of people come into the complications part of their surgery, is that they're only following this sheet. Now, mind you, this sheet is just like a cardboard that's like this big. That's it. If you're interested in seeing it, there is a picture on my Instagram that I posted of it, but we're going to go over it today. So again, just so that we're very clear, AirSculpt is still surgery. It is still liposuction. You are still getting fat sucked out of your body. It is not some magical melting device. Like, yes, their cannula for the liposuction is great. Their surgery, let's start this video off. There's nothing wrong with Elite. Elite is great at what they do. They are great at surgery. They are great at quick in and out. I am going to do another video because something that I have seen, like in the past month, insane amount of these reoccurrences. If you are going in for skin removal, right? Like a tummy tuck, here's what you're missing from a place like this. So Elite and Sonobello are what I like to call a la carte plastic surgery. You go in, you say, I want lipo, I want a BBL, I want the skin gone. They say, okay, and they do it. And that's it. Here's what they're not checking for. Diastasis recti. I'm going to do an entire video on this. It's where after pregnancy, and this is something that if you do not fix will stay forever and be there forever. If you have a bulge, right? If your abdomen is bulging and you think it's fat, but you go in for a consult for liposuction and skin removal, and they look at you and they say, yeah, we can do it. When you heal, you're going to still see that bulge. That is still going to be there. And you're going to go in at your 6th month and be like, what the hell? This is still here. Everything else, I spent all this money on my post-op care. Everything else is gone. Why is this still here? And they'll be like, oh, well, we can do a little revision lipo if you'd like. Great. We do the revision lipo. It's still there. Why? Because it's a diastasis recti. Your abdominal muscles from pregnancy have separated, which now means they're not tight and holding everything in. So you're going to have a bulge because your organs and your diaphragm and everything is spilling out. I'm going to do a whole video on diastasis recti for you guys. But that needs to be either surgically corrected, or some people say, depending on the amount of space you actually have between your ab muscles, the separation, how big it is, you can do physical therapy. You can do something called the Tupler technique, which is like a binder that you wear for like 6 weeks to 6 months, depending. I'm going to do a whole series on that. But they don't check you for these things. If you go to a regular plastic surgeon and you say, okay, I want a tummy tuck, they're going to check and see if your muscles are separated to make sure that while they're in there for the tummy tuck, they're going to sew your muscles back together so you have that nice flat look. They're also not checking for hernias at Elite at all. So you're not going to know if you have any separation or hernia or anything that's causing your stomach to be distended. You're going to think it's fat because you have no medical knowledge. And then you're going to go to Elite. You're going to get their skin removal done. You're going to go get Abex at Sonobello, which is just their fancy name for skin removal. And you're still going to wind up with a bulge. So that's another side note. But that's super important to understand. Is that these guys, when you're looking at something like Elite, they are wonderful if you just need a little shaping. They are wonderful if you just want like the upper cup procedure from Sonobello, where you're just getting a little bit of fat put in here. I believe AirSculpt AirSculpt is the name of their liposuction technique. But I believe Elite also does the fat transfer to the breasts, and I don't know what they call it, but if you want just minimal, a little bit done, a little bit shaved off, a little bit added in, a little bit, they are wonderful. If you have a lot, I would suggest going to an actual plastic surgeon. That is the first thing. And the second thing is because of their aftercare. Now, again, no plastic surgeon is going to be like in tip-top shape and on it with the post-op care. They are not certified compression garment fitters. They are not manual lymphatic drainage therapists. They have no idea how the lymphatic system works. They have no idea how swelling works. They don't know about any of this. It is not their job. It is mine to be able to tell you how this stuff works and to be able to guide you through this process and take care of you after surgery. So when we're going to someplace like Elite or Sonobello, we have to understand that they are going to give you next to no help. Like as bad as Miami plastic surgery aftercare, next to no help, because they are a la carte plastic surgery. You just get the thing done, you ask them for the thing, and that's it. They're not doing anything extra ever, like checking for a diastasis recti or a hernia or any of that stuff. So their aftercare sheet is a tiny little cardboard with a few things on it. I'm going to go through this. I'm going to read it. I'm going to address these things. Then at the end, I'm going to tell you the things they missed and all the things you need as far as garments, as far as supplies, as far as post-op massages, everything you need to recover properly and not fall into the complications, fibrosis, crazy amounts of swelling, all the things I see that come from Elite. So it says AirSculpt Aftercare. Disclaimer, everyone is special and a little bit different, so please ask your surgeon if you have any questions or if anything is unclear. Your surgeon may give you slightly different instructions specific to your needs. Please follow them. If the instructions provided below are just general. Now, my disclaimer for their disclaimer. That is not correct. I have been doing this for 9 years. I see about maybe in a month like 10 brand new people come out of Elite and come to me for aftercare. When you go to ask your surgeon, first of all, you don't see your surgeon. At all of your follow-ups, you are seeing a nurse, you are seeing whoever's there, you're maybe seeing a surgeon once afterwards. So if you go to ask them about garments, they're not going to know. They're going to slap you in whatever size. Now, this is also something with the garments that we're going to talk about later. They don't ever give you the same garment. I will have 2 clients with the same surgery, same BMI, same liters of lipo, 2 completely different garments because it's what they have on hand. They are not doing things in a straightforward, technical, scientific manner. They're just giving you whatever they have on hand, and that's it. So even when you ask their surgeons, because I've had clients that have come to me like 48 hours after, like you can with lipo, you can come get your manual lymphatic drainage massages with me 48 hours after. We can start that, or whoever your therapist is. We can do that. If you come to me and I ask a question, or I ask something, or tell you to ask your surgeon, they don't know. We'll go back and ask questions and they'll be like, oh, it's whatever. Oh, it's fine. Oh, you can just do this. You can do that. It's fine. It's whatever. It doesn't matter. It's okay. You'll heal. You'll be fine. And then if we do have something like fibrosis or something that doesn't seem right, and I tell the client and I'm like, hey, ask your surgeon about this. Like, call them, go in for a follow-up. They're like, oh, we'll see at 6 months. It should go away in 6 months. You'll be fine. It'll go away in 6 months. By 6 months, your tissue is supposed to already be healed. Whatever that thing is going to be permanent. So this disclaimer of ask your surgeon, real life practical experience, we have asked the surgeons and they have not responded. Or you get a nurse or you get a front desk person and you don't get the answers. This is why you have me. So a little bit about their disclaimer. Post-op procedure. Eat well. Don't diet for at least 5 days. That is literally it. As far as their entire eating instructions. They will not give you any other eating dietary instructions in the room, just so you're aware. As far as nutrition, you need to be having 3 to 4 liters of water a day, nothing except water. No juice, no coffee, no pineapple juice, no, just water, please, just water. You can put Juven in your water, but just water. The link to the Juven will be in the description box. Juven helps with wound healing. I'll do a whole video on Juven too. Walk at least 30 minutes a day, starting the day after your procedure. No. You may begin to resume your workout routine 2 weeks after your procedure. No. Please be patient with your body and do not push yourself if it causes pain or extreme discomfort. First of all, I don't care how much liposuction you had done. I don't care if it was one tiny area over your belly button and you feel great. In the first 4 or 5 days after surgery, no matter what it is, let's say it's even just like a tooth thing, right? You had like, I'm talking like, not even like a root canal, just like a tooth, maybe like a, I don't know, something tooth related, right? You should not be, your body is in homeostasis, which is the first phase of wound healing. It's trying to stop the bleeding from the wound. It's trying to basically cauterize the wound. It's trying to get the blood in there to make a scab. It's trying to start containing that tissue so that it can heal. 30 minutes a day starting the day after your procedure, we're talking about, even if we're talking about just an area over the belly button, which I know 90% of you are getting full-blown Lipo 360, not just an area over your belly button. But let's just go minimal here. Let's just say it's a tiny little area. In that first day 1 to day 5, or let's say day 3 to 4, that tissue has just been removed. You have a hole that your body is trying to fill and get like under control as far as bleeding, as far as swelling. Swelling doesn't start to really set in until day 4. You should not be walking for 30 minutes. That's not a thing. You should be resting. You should be in bed. What I generally say is 15 minutes out of every hour while you're awake, you should be walking around. And what I mean by that is go to the kitchen, get some water, go to the bathroom, and then come back to bed. That's it. We're not walking for 30 minutes starting the next day. And resuming working out after 2 weeks? Absolutely not. You are swollen. That swelling is in there to repair tissue. You're not even close to being healed. Even if it's that tiny little pouch, that little tiny part that we had liposuction done, anything that causes vasodilation, anything that causes your heart rate to raise, like working out, anything that is going to cause inflammation in your body is going to cause a complication. You are not working out 2 weeks after your procedure. You are working out 3 months after your procedure. No. Resume your workout routine. Absolutely not. I would say you could start walking like that 30 minutes and like 40 minutes at 2 weeks, not working out. Your pads are not necessary and are only in place to collect drainage. They can be removed or replaced as little or as often as you please. Do not take your compression garment off to replace pads. Pads may irritate the skin and can be removed and replaced at any time. So I'm confused. So your pads aren't necessary. They're there to collect the drainage, which by the way is just tumescence fluid, not swelling. That's not how that works. They can be removed or replaced as little or as often as you please. Do not take your compression garment off to replace the pads. How are we supposed to replace the pads then? Pads may irritate skin and can be removed and replaced at any time, but don't take your compression garment off to replace the pads. All right, let's clear this up real quick. The pads that they're talking about are basically medical pads. They are like gauze. They sit up against your incisions, right? What they mean is in that first 48 to 72 hours, right? Whenever they tell you the first time you're allowed to take your garment off, which they do address on this sheet, I always say within the first 48 hours, do not take your garment off. That's probably the only thing on this sheet that I agree with, because further down it says, if you've had your full abdomen treated, please wear your garment for a full 48 hours before removing it for the first time to shower. That I do agree with. These pads that they're talking about are just to collect the tumescence fluid and the blood coming out of your incision holes, because Elite does not stitch your incision sites. They just leave them because they're a 2 millimeter hole, which is fine. But if those pads, like I said, after the 48 hours, take them off and replace them once a day, please. If not twice, depending on how much you are actually bleeding and leaking. Those pads may irritate skin and can be removed and replaced at any time. Here's my thing with that. If they are irritating your skin, it's either because your skin is so inflamed because you're blowing up because the garment doesn't fit right, or you're having too much sodium, or they're wet and they're irritating your skin, and that can cause an infection. The one thing that they do not talk to you about is wound care at Elite, like 110%. They don't ever speak to you about wound care. And I know that as a fact because of how many of you guys I've seen. So if you have those drainage pads for that first 48 hours, please keep your garment on, leave them. That's fine. But the first time you shower, you need to be changing those things every time you shower. You need to be sanitary. So garments are... Oh God, here we go. Garments are worn for a full 2 weeks unless instructed otherwise by your surgeon. Exceptions: chins, jowl, and neck. Why is that an exception? That is not an exception. Your garment needs to be worn 24/7 as long as you have swelling and fibrosis. Do not take that thing off. Okay, garments are worn 24 hours a day for 2 weeks. Absolutely not. They are worn 24 hours a day until you have no more swelling and no more hardness. You may take off your compression garment for a brief time when you shower or if you are washing it. During the second week, breaks for an hour or two are permitted. Absolutely not. Here's the rundown with garments. Okay, garments are a cast. I have a whole video on when can we stop wearing our faja after liposuction. I have several videos on garments. Guys, I have an entire playlist on YouTube of garments. Literally all the videos I have about garments. I will continue making videos and yelling this from the rooftops until someone hears me. Garments are a cast for your body to heal in. If you break your arm, at 6 weeks you go in for an x-ray. If your arm is still broken, they put the cast back on for 24 hours a day for another however many weeks. They do not take it off and tell you, oh yeah, just wear this like 12 hours a day until your arm is healed. No. Now, I also understand the argument of, yeah, but if it's not broken anymore and it's just fractured, like it's partially healed, then they put you in like a sling and it's fine, like a sprain. No, it's still not fine. Because when you're talking about tissue, you want that to heal flat, you want that to heal contained, you want that to heal without any fibrosis or hardness or lumps or bumps or swelling trapped in the tissue. So we're talking about 2 months, 6 to 8 weeks in a garment, 24/7. Please get that in your head and settle with that fact right now. If you are getting any, I don't care if it's just a little bit under here, if you are getting any surgery at Elite, you are in that garment minimum 8 weeks, 24/7. Now, the garments they give you are only good for the first week. I'm going to say it again. The compression garments that Elite gives you are only good for your first week, when you are in that homeostasis, bleeding, sensitive phase. After that, you need a real compression garment, an actual one. If you don't know what that means, you can set up a virtual with me and we will make sure we get you one and measure you properly and do all of the things that are supposed to be done with garments. Not just go in the back room, pull a random model of garment and a random size of garment and throw it on you. That is not, there is a science to compression garment fitting, guys. This isn't just a guessing game. We have classes of compression. We have different measurements, different cuts. We have flat knit, we have circular knit. We have literal science to compression garments. This is not, oh yeah, my first garment they gave me was an extra large, but it only had like a crotch snap and looked like a bathing suit. And my second garment had zippers down the sides and had full legs on it. Why are we in two different kinds of garments? Why? Why are we in two different separate kinds of garments with two different sizes that don't make any sense? Why? We're not doing this. Please stop doing this. So, no, during the second week, you are not taking breaks. You are wearing that garment for 6 to 8 weeks, 24/7, especially for neck lipo and chin lipo. Guys, it's your face. You want to make sure that there's no swelling healing in here. Okay, so please take your antibiotics as instructed starting the morning after your procedure. I agree. Continue. If you had your full abdomen treated, please wear your garment for a full 48 hours before removing it for the first time to shower. The garment is washable and can be washed on the gentle cycle and tumble dried on low heat. So, I would say with any surgery, I would say with any surgery, like again, even if it's just the tiniest little bit of lipo, 48 hours. That's just me. That's just, again, that homeostasis, bleeding, coagulation, skin and tissue trying to make a scab in there, that integrity, 48 hours. That's, again, just my viewpoint on it. When you remove the garment for the first time, make sure you are sitting on the bed and rest for a few minutes before proceeding to stand. Some patients may experience dizziness if they stand up immediately after removing their compression garment. If you're experiencing any dizziness, please lay on the bed for approximately 5 minutes with your knees up and then proceed to stand slowly before showering. What are they talking about here? They're talking about fainting. They're talking about the fluid distribution and the fluid balance in your body from taking off your garment. Here's what I suggest. Don't have high salt foods, and you won't be so swollen that you pass out when you take your garment off because of the pressure difference. Don't have caffeine, and have lots of water, and make sure that you're resting, and make sure that you, when you are awake, you're getting up and moving a little bit. But also, yeah, please be careful when you're taking off your garment, and don't shower in hot water because that will cause vasodilation. All of these things, by the way, I know these are a lot of like random little things, and you guys are probably over there trying to like get every little piece of information you can about this. They're all included in our online course. So it's all in one straight line for you. We'll talk about that at the end. But that's the front of their sheet. That's literally it. They barely talk about food. They barely talk about activity. They talk about garments, and it's a hot mess. They don't talk about wound care. They don't talk about any of the healing phases or what's going to happen. They don't talk about massages, like at all. There is a backside that we're going to get into here of this sheet. Okay. After your first shower. Literally what's on the back of this sheet is after your first shower if you've had fat transfer. And then in case of emergency. That's it. They do not talk about aftercare at all. This is like your 2-day instructions, like your 48-hour instructions. This is not aftercare. This is not what you need to be doing to heal properly. And this is why so many people are like, yeah, I went to Elite, I had liposuction, but it didn't work, or I had complications, or it was a waste of money, or it was just, it was whatever. It didn't do anything for me. This is why. Because you're not treating it like it's going to do something for you. You're just treating it like, oh yeah, I just got my hair colored at the end. And even when you get your hair colored, you got to use special shampoo. You got to make sure you're using proper conditioner. There's a whole bunch of stuff we got to do here, guys, that they're not telling you about. So after your first shower, the square white foam pad, which is memory foam and not machine washable and breeds bacteria. So please make sure you are getting correct foams. In the front of your abdomen is important. Please keep it or replace it with extra pad given in your take-home bag. It is very important and needs to be worn at all times during the first 2 weeks. Here's the thing, foams need to be worn 24/7 with your garment to 8 weeks, if not a little bit longer. Foams, real foams, not their memory foam, their gross memory foam that is not machine washable and hurts. And I have seen them give you guys boards too when you didn't have a tummy tuck. You had lipo, and the board crushes your abdomen and stabs you in your garment. Please don't use boards. I have a whole video on boards. We do not use boards ever. Boards are only for a tummy tuck, and that is very specific. If you're getting an ab repair, something like that, it's a very specific thing. It's not used for liposuction. But anyway, the square foam pad that they're talking about is memory foam, and it will get bloody and it will get gross, and then you can't wash it. So they give you one. And I laugh because you guys who have lipo all the way around, your foams are meant to, number one, actual foam is meant to sit in your garment. Now, this is also how you know the difference between polyurethane foams like ours, like real actual foam, and foam that is not like medical grade polyurethane. You see how yellow this is? This is a process called oxidization. This foam just sits on my desk, and I'm doing this for a reason, to show you. So when oxygen hits the foam, because of the cells of the foam, it starts to turn yellow. That is normal. That is what's supposed to happen. I actually had somebody the other day who got surgery at Elite, and she was putting her foams in her garment, and I looked at her foams and I was like, wait a second. I was like, those aren't our foams, because there were lines, like black lines from her garment on it, and everything like normal wear and tear, but they were like starch white. And I was like, let me see those foams. And I grabbed them from her and I was like, these are not polyurethane and these are not our foams. Where did you get these? She was like, oh, they were extras that I had from Amazon. I said, okay, well, let me show you the difference. You feel when you rub your hands against the foam and there's like a waxy coating? That's rubbing off on your skin. That's a problem because now it's near your incisions. That's not medical grade. Second of all, they're not changing color, which means they're not medical grade polyurethane. They're memory foam, and they're going to push into your body and they're going to cause fibrosis. So how does foam work? I'm going to put the foam here. You guys have seen me do this in a bunch of videos if you've watched my videos already. All I'm doing is putting my fingers on the foam. I'm not pressing. And when I move the foam, all the skin moves on my forearm. Literally everywhere. All the skin all over. All I'm doing is putting my fingertips. So with the pressure of your garment, when it holds and you move and you breathe, it pumps your skin. It's creating lymphatic stimulation in your garment. The memory foam will not do that. It will collapse under the weight of your garment and it will not move your skin. It'll actually crush your skin, and that's going to cause a lot of problems with healing. The other point of the foam, other than lymphatic stimulation, is to buffer the seams of your garment. So it's meant to sit in a specific way in your garment so that it makes your garment more comfortable and gives you cushion and support. If we had Lipo 360, which means all the way around your body, sides, back, abdomen, upper back, and we have one piece of foam that's memory foam, how is that doing anything? It's not. Unless you had that one tiny little area done. Then one sheet of foam might be okay, but you're talking about an area that's just this big. That's it. And even still, that's not going to hold up under the weight of your garment because it's memory foam and it's not machine washable, so it's going to absorb all that bacteria and become gross. So that's a problem. So their foams are a hot mess. If you have had your chin done, please wear your chin garment a full 48 hours before removing it to shower. After your 48 hours, the garment only needs to be worn at night or while you are sleeping. So I'm going to be real honest with you guys real quick. I skimmed this. I posted it on Instagram. I didn't really like zoom in like I'm zooming in right now and see like the full hot messness of this. That is appalling. That is insane to me. You're getting the full-blown reaction right now. That is blasphemy. Only needs to be worn at night or while you're sleeping. It is not necessary to wear in public. It is very important to sleep on your back with your head elevated using 3 pillows. This will ultimately help decrease any swelling. Let me explain something to you. Swelling lives in the land where the fat was taken from. Swelling lives in between your skin and your tissue. Okay, swelling is not in the blood vessels. So by elevating like that, all the swelling is going to go into your neck. That's it. It's not going back into the lymphatic capillaries to then be traveled to the lymph nodes, to then be traveled to your subclavian veins, to then go back into your body as blood and then be peed out. Elevating your head, sleeping with it elevated, is not going to do anything for your swelling. And on top of that, not wearing your garment during the day, 48 hours after liposuction, you're going to get fibrotic. And this is why I see so many chin people from Elite. I get it now. Okay, so here's what happens. You don't wear the garment. You're talking all day. Picture this as one big paper cut, right? We had lipo under here. Picture it as one gigantic paper cut. You're talking all day. You're working, you're moving, you're out in the world, you're moving that skin, you're moving that tissue all day, and it doesn't have any support to protect it. It doesn't have any foam, it doesn't have a garment. Yes, you need foam for your chin too. Every garment needs foam 24/7. You have nothing here, and that skin keeps moving, and you have a giant wound or cut under here. It's going to keep getting re-injured, and your body's going to start to turn it into scar tissue, which is what's been happening, which is why I keep getting so many chin lipo people all the time from Elite, because they're telling you to take your garment off 48 hours after surgery, that you only need to wear it at night. That is incorrect. 100%. Look at me. If you have had chin lipo from Elite, you keep that garment on. You prepare to keep that garment on for 6 to 8 weeks, 24/7. I actually had someone who was going to get surgery at Elite, and when I told her, because she was already having surgery for everywhere else on her body and she wanted to throw in her chin, and I told her, I said, you have a decision to make right now. I know you're staying with family. I know that everything else can be hidden. Your face can't be hidden. I said, you could wait until next year for when you're on break again and get it done right and have it be one and done and easy, or you can get it done now. And I know you're not going to wear your garment during the day. You're going to have a lot of problems with swelling, a lot of problems with fibrosis. It's going to take twice as long for you to heal, and it's not going to heal the way you want it to. And this is something we're thinking about adding in to the surgery you're already having. So if you are not prepared to wear that garment for 24/7 up to 6 to 8 weeks, do not get it done. She didn't get it done. She scheduled it for next year and she waited. Because again, this is what they told her. This is actually, she's the one that sent me this sheet. This is what they told her. This is not accurate. This is how you guys keep ending up with the hardness and the swelling and the lumps and bumps and irregularities under here. Stop taking off your garment during the day if you had chin lipo and see what happens with the foams. Keep it on. It will get better if you keep it on. So that's a big one. If you've had fat transfer, please be gentle with the area the fat was transferred. Please do not put direct pressure on that area for at least 2 weeks. No, you're not putting pressure on that area for 6 to 8 weeks. Because if you watch any of my BBL videos, I tell you guys, it takes 6 to 8 weeks for the fat to make new blood capillary connections and actually get blood supply and start to become permanent. And then for the swelling, which is what causes the pain when you sit on your BBL, then for the swelling to filter back into the lymphatic system to be processed out once those capillaries have made their connection. You should not be sitting for 6 to 8 weeks with a fat transfer, first of all. Do not put any pressure on it at all. And I have tons of BBL videos. That's literally all they say for fat transfer. There's nothing else on here. In the case of an emergency, please contact your doctor. Any questions that do not require immediate assistance can be referred to a nurse during normal business hours. Right. That is the end of their aftercare sheet. Literally, that's it. So there's barely any instructions on here. And what they do say is like, your surgeon may give you slightly different instructions specific to your needs. They don't give you any at all. It's not like they give you this and then you go to your post-op follow-up and they're like, okay, and then you need to do this to make sure that your incisions don't scar. Then you need to do this to make sure your incisions heal properly. Then you need to do this and this and this. And oh yeah, about your massages, by the way. No, you know what they tell you? Just like they told her? You go in, and she asked about massages before her surgery because I saw her pre-op. She did a virtual consult with me. She's not even in New Jersey, but she reached out to me and set up a virtual consult so I could help her prepare because she knows that Elite is just a la carte. So she's taking her recovery into her own hands. So I see you guys before surgery. I get you prepared. I explain all of this to you because when you go in, they're not going to explain anything. So she goes in, she asks about massages, and they're like, oh yeah, you could do those. And she was like, what do you mean? He's like, yeah, you could do them yourself at home. Just, get some baby oil and just rub. She was like, excuse me? I just had surgery. I have open incisions. You want me to use baby oil? What? No. I've heard that several times, that baby oil thing coming out of Elite. Or they say just like massage in the shower with soap. Or just go get like some store-bought Arnica and rub it all over yourself and massage yourself. No, please don't do that. First of all, you guys have no idea what you're doing. And manual lymphatic drainage is a scientific technique. It is not massage. We are not rubbing or digging. We are doing this. It's an extremely specific pressure with extremely specific strokes meant to work in a sequence and a pattern that gets your lymph vessels and your lymph nodes to reabsorb fluid so that you pee it out. It is not a rub like massage. It's not this. It's not this. It's not whatever craziness you're seeing online. It's not any of that. So as far as the massages that are not covered on this post-op sheet, they will tell you to rub yourself at home. They will tell you to do your own massages. Two problems with that. One, your body is a Ziploc bag full of water right now. We need to dilate your lymphatic vessels to suck the water out of that Ziploc bag. Number two, your body is extremely fragile. You are one big wound. If you use too much pressure, you are going to create more swelling. So one, you're going to be pushing swelling into an area and it's going to get clumped up and hard and become hard and lumpy, fibrosis. And two, you're going to create more swelling. Stop doing that. Do not use machines, rollers, all these things that you will hear coming out of Elite with aftercare. These rolly things, these cavitation machine things. Guys, none of this it's very, very simple. Manual lymphatic drainage. We are manually pumping the skin to dilate the hair-thin lymphatic vessels that live a hair deep under your skin and line your entire body. Manually pumping the skin to dilate them in a specific direction and a specific flow to work with these lines specifically to get your body to do its natural job of reabsorbing and then draining the swelling out through your urine. It is literally manual lymphatic drainage. Your body is already doing lymphatic drainage 24/7 every time you pee. So we are manually pumping the system to get it to drain more because you have excess swelling right now from surgery. That is all it is. So that is their sheet. Now I'm going to tell you everything that you need, even if you're getting just a little strip of chin lipo, just a little bit of abdominal lipo, or if you're doing full lipo all the way around your body with a fat transfer to the booty and you're getting skin removal. If you are doing all of it, these rules apply for all of it, no matter what surgery you're doing. If you are getting surgery at Elite, if you are getting AirSculpt, if you are doing any procedure at Elite, this is what you need. Here's the rundown. All right, so first of all, let's talk garments because everyone wants to know about this. Garments. If you are getting surgery at Elite, you need a real garment. They will give you the Morena brand. It's very stretchy and it's elastic. Let me give you a little education on garments here. Regular sportswear compression, stretchy, elastic, Spanx, things that stretch like this, that is a 10 to 15 class 1 sports compression. That is not going to contain your tissue while it's healing. So anytime you swell or vasodilate, which you are going to learn about in the course, and that is extremely important, vasodilation, because it's things that you're doing post-op, all of these like post-op tips and hacks that you're getting off of like TikTok and everything, people telling you to do stuff, or even Elite telling you to do stuff, or not telling you to avoid certain things, or they don't tell you. That is what's causing you to swell. Vasodilation is what causes swelling. I'm not going to get too much into it because I have a whole module on it. But if you are in a garment that is not containing you, any little tiny time that you swell, you are going to stretch and inflate inside that garment and it's doing nothing to hold your tissue back. So you're going to be building up swelling all the time, every day, constantly, because the garment's doing nothing. You need a real garment. So that's going to be different for everyone as far as chin garment, as far as body garment, arm garment, depending on what surgery you're doing. My answer to that is schedule a virtual with me. Because I need to look at you, I need to know what surgery you had, I need to look at your results. If you have fibrosis versus if it's just swelling, it's gonna be different for everyone. So you need to set up a virtual with me for your garments. All of this I'm about to say, you do not have to wait until you've had surgery then to book with me. I have pre-ops for a reason. I can get you guys set up for a reason. If you see me pre-op, you need to see me way less post-op because I give you all your dietary instructions, your garments. We go over the course. You need the course. We're going to get to that in a second. We're going to go over the course together, everything that you've learned. We're going to make sure you have a therapist and that you're finding a therapist properly, and that everything that you need as far as supplies you know how to use. So after surgery, you have instructions, guys, because they don't give you any. So I give you all of them pre-op so that you know what to do post-op, so you don't have to worry about it when you're all like in pain and a mess. As well as giving you questions to ask your surgeon, because I've had a lot of you guys from Elite do virtual consults with me from all over the place, because Elite is all over the country, and they give you different instructions for your medications. Some people don't give you like medications. Some give you anti-nausea meds. Some don't. I don't. It is dependent, right? Surgery to surgery, client to client is very dependent. But some of the things just, I don't know. There's no consistency to their garments, to any of it. Back to the garment thing. Again, like I said in the beginning, they will give you like they just give you whatever they have, guys. They don't know what they're doing with garments. They're just grabbing a garment, giving it to you and being like, here, this is what we have, put this on. This is not like a regulated thing with them. So garments, you're going to need to see me for. We're going to need to figure that out together. That's easy peasy, one and done. Supplies, okay? The basics you need, the only things you need. If you are having chin lipo, chin and neck, you need 1 pack, 3 foams. 1 pack of our foams. If you are getting anything else, lipo to your abdomen, lipo 360, skin removal, lipo anywhere else, arm lipo, thigh lipo, everywhere else, you need minimum 6 foams, 2 packs of foams. But Ashley, if I'm only getting lipo to my abdomen, why do I need more than just to cover that area? Because your entire lymphatic system needs to be pumped. Otherwise, that one area is going to have stimulation and the garment's going to crush the rest of your body. Okay? If you're getting arm lipo, you need 1 foam here, 1 foam here, 1 foam here, 1 foam here. That's 4 foams. You need 2 packs. If you're getting lipo anywhere on your abdomen, you need 6 to cover you all the way around, so that we're not backing up swelling or pushing swelling into other areas that didn't have surgery. And on the product page for our foams, I show you how to put the foams in your garment. So you know how to put them with the lymphatic map. The reason I say that, this map, all these green lines, we need to cover all these green lines, except this one, because a lot of times we're not doing that. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 foams. So you're going to need 2 packs of foams. Now, this is another thing. 1 to wash, 1 to wear, right? With the garment situation as well as the foam situation. Your foams take a little bit to dry. So I know a lot of people that will order 4 packs so that they have extra foams to wash and to wear. So minimum 2 packs. As far as your detergent, I have a whole video on this, but you are leaking and bleeding everywhere. You need medical grade detergent. Please stop putting chemicals on your garment, which is then up against your incisions and your foams on your body, and you're heating up in it, baking in chemicals. Also, the medical grade detergent helps extend the life of your garment as well as your foams. So making sure you have that. So you need 2 packs of foam, 1 detergent. You are going to need wound care and soap. They will tell you to use Dial, Dove, and HipaCleanse, or any antibacterial soap. Guys, so many surgeons, and I have posted this on my Instagram and Reels so many times, surgeons keep telling you to stop using the antibacterial soap after you are done leaking, because it rips up your skin, and then you're flaking, and then your incisions look like giant bullet holes with a white or red, like white flaky skin peeling away from your incisions, or like a red ring around your incisions, and they're not healing, but they're widening because the skin is too fragile and dry that anytime you move, they're cracking open. Think about dry lips, right? That like crack every time you move them. Your skin is doing the same thing because you keep drying it out with antibacterial soap. So, 2 packs of foam, detergent for washing your garment in foam, soap. Our soap, also bonus, has Arnica in it, so it's going to help with the bruising and healing your tissue. So there's that. The other thing, Arnica and wound care. 2 things. First of all, you want those incision holes to stay that 2 millimeters. As you swell, it will stretch. We need to make sure that that thing is closing as soon as humanly possible, which could be within that first week if we start using the wound care right away. The wound care has nanoparticles of silver, which is what they use like Silvadene in burn units. And they'll give you that antibiotic or antibacterial prescribed oh Jesus, I can't even speak because my brain's all over the place. They will give you prescription ointment for your incisions. 90% of the times, it is silver in there. So ours is aloe with nanoparticles of colloidal silver that will heal the inside of the wound to the outside of the wound. You want your incision holes to be flat with a nice flat healthy scab and the skin around it to be nice and healthy. So the wound care is going to help with that. Because of the swelling, because of the garments that aren't right, you are going to be stretching. We want to make sure that thing heals perfectly and prevent the scar from ever being made. Free little pro tip here. Scar tape. They will tell you to start using that within the first month. Guys, it is not a scar. It is a wound. It is a wound. You are putting silicone on a wound and it is turning purple and red and all kinds of sticky and gross, and your incisions are like raised and bumpy, and scar tape is not to be used. Any scar treatment is not to be used until 6 months. I will do a whole video on that too, I promise. So the wound care. And then the Arnica. Arnica helps with bruising. Yes. Stop buying store-bought Arnica, please. You did not stub your toe. You had surgery. The extra strength Arnica is what you need for something like Elite. So it's got echinacea, calendula, lemongrass, thyme, rosemary oil, black pepper seed oil, kukui oil. All those things are anti-inflammatory herbs. Everyone needs to stop glorifying Arnica as the only thing in God's greatest gift to man for surgery, because it's not. Arnica helps with bruising. You need something that helps with nerves, blood circulation, tissue repair, and pain. Our cream is a topical analgesic, which is naturally stopping pain at the skin itself, at the site of the pain. Rather than just taking some sort of painkiller and waiting for it to work throughout your body, this stuff actually heals the tissue. So, we need 2 packs of foams, detergent, I call it the Amare trifecta, because it's the 3 things you use when you shower. You need the soap, you need the wound care, you need the Arnica. You're going to shower with the soap. You're going to put a good, healthy dose of that on your incisions. And then you're going to protect it with the wound care. Treat it like liquid Band-Aid. Put like a good amount on there. Let it dry. Then you're going to use the Arnica on your skin everywhere else, the post-op cream. We actually have 2 Arnica plants, which people don't realize. Arnica is a daisy. There's Mexican Arnica and American Arnica, and they do 2 very different things. So we actually have 2 Arnica plants in our cream, as well as all the other anti-inflammatory herbs which matter for healing your tissue and preventing fibrosis. And I think that's it. If you're getting a BBL, you need the BBL pillow, because trying to use the other BBL pillows or the one that they give you, oh my God, God forbid, the one that they give you is a hot mess. But using the one that they give you to sleep. I have a video on sleeping with your BBL. I have a video on setting it up with a kitchen chair. So that you can actually like rest and hang out and watch TV without having to like struggle to hold yourself up the whole time. So you need a decent BBL pillow, because I don't care what they say with their fat transfer at 2 weeks. You need to protect that for 6 to 8 weeks. We need to make sure we're not killing the fat and getting necrosis. So proper BBL pillow, please, because I've seen things go wrong with their BBL pillows a lot. And then your massages, guys, it is so much simpler than you are making it. Everyone, I cannot count the amount of messages I get a day on Instagram. Can you recommend someone in my area? Can you recommend? Guys, if you just knew what you were looking for, it's like going into Home Depot and being like, I'm redoing my bathroom. Can you recommend what I need? Like, what, bro? What do you mean? What you do? You're doing the grout? You doing the tiles? Like, what are you fixing the sink? You fixing the toilet? Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? You don't even know what you're doing. What are you doing? If you don't understand what these massages are supposed to be, how do you know you're going to the right person? And how do you know it's not going to cause more swelling? And how do you know it's not going to cause more fibrosis? I will tell you right now, machines will cause fibrosis. Heat will cause fibrosis. Rollers will cause fibrosis. Oil is dangerous for your incisions and dangerous for your scabs. I don't care if you have no scabs. Using oil and rubbing is going to push that Ziploc bag of water around into areas where surgery wasn't done, or clump it up into one area and cause fibrosis. Manual lymphatic drainage. I explained it. We are working with this map to get your body to reabsorb the swelling. If the technique is not done, and I have a picture on my Instagram and it's also in the course, so you will learn this, the actual hand stroke techniques as well as how we're moving the skin and the pressure we're using to move the skin. I have a really pretty graphic of it on my Instagram. I have a big blown up picture of it in my course so you can see it, as well as this map. And I teach you where the massage should start, what should happen next, where it should end, where they should be focusing, how to know if they're getting the swelling out properly. I teach you all of this in the course. Because if you, and this has happened, if you go to the major schools, right, that certify lymphatic drainage therapists, and you find someone in your area and you go in there, they're using heat on you, they're not practicing what they learned. Because heat is a vasodilator and heat will cause more swelling. We don't use heat in our massages. It is nothing but the hands on the skin done in a specific motion with a specific pressure in a specific way to get your body to reabsorb the swelling, especially after surgery. We have to follow the science. So you need to be getting your massages post-lipo the earliest 48 hours. If not, within that first week. You need to be getting 1 to 2 a week. And then as your body is healing more, you can start getting more. I cover that in the course as well. How many times should I go? When should I stop? When should I start? All of that is in the course. It is post-op lymphatic massage and finding a therapist. The link is in the description box, but the link is also on our Instagram and our online shop where you're going to get all your products. You can purchase the course at the same time. It's about 4.5 hours. I teach you how swelling works, the things that cause vasodilation that will make you swell more, what things you should be avoiding that are going to make you swell more. I have a whole module in there debunking myths like ice rollers and wooden tools and all kinds of craziness. I teach you the science of the lymphatic system, how those vessels contract, how they absorb swelling, how you pee out swelling so that you know what's happening to your body. I go over how to find someone like me. So here's the thing, guys. You guys always want a directory. You want a link. You want a name. You want it to be easy, right? You will find the best therapists on Google. Like, I kid you not, you will find the best therapist if you only knew what you were looking for. I could type into Google right now, does ice melt? Or does water change into gas? And they'll say yes. And then I'll type into Google, does water become solid? And they'll say yes. Well, now how do we know which one it is? Well, it's both. It's what you typed into Google. You asked it one question, it gave you an answer. You asked another question, it gave you an answer. You type in post-op massage, you're going to get everyone that has post-op massage. You type in manual lymphatic drainage, you're going to type in that and find a whole range of therapists. But you're also going to find everyone and everybody else that's trying to jump on this post-op massage bandwagon that is not medically inclined or doing things post-op the way that they should, following the whole system. So I teach you how to find a therapist. I give you questions to ask when you're on the phone with them, credentials to look for, what letters they're supposed to have after their name, what schools they should have gone to or have gone to, how to know if they're doing the technique right, questions to ask them to make sure they're doing the real technique that's going to get your body to trigger and suck the swelling back so you pee it out rather than just rubbing you, because it shouldn't be just rubbing you. It should be you're peeing the swelling out right after your session. And now I hear a lot of people that are like, yeah, but I pee a lot after my massages. Okay, are you still fibrotic? Are you still swollen? Is this happening? Does it look like this? Or is it like this, where they're squishing? Yeah, that's not manual lymphatic drainage. Just saying. So I teach you guys how to know the difference between the real technique and then everybody else that's just doing massage that are claiming that it's lymphatic drainage, because it's not lymphatic drainage, it's manual lymphatic drainage. The water technique, it's very different. So because again, Elite's going to tell you to rub yourself and oh boy, are you going to do some damage. And it's not going to feel good and it's going to be a hot mess. So there's that. The course is the number one thing you need because, again, you can use all these products. You can stay away from the sodium. You could drink the water. You could do everything I'm telling you to do in the course as far as at home. But if you are not getting that swelling out of that tissue, you will be in that garment and it will heal like that. And then we're going to have a problem. So making sure that you are getting your actual manual lymphatic drainage massage is the thing that's supposed to get the swelling out. Super, super important because that's going to get you out of that garment within that 6 to 8 weeks. Otherwise, you're going to be in it a lot longer because you're waiting for your system, your body, your lymphatic system, where all of those lymph vessels in that pocket that we had lipo done, all those lymph vessels are gone. They need 3 to 4 weeks just to rebuild. Then they got to start pumping at their tiny little 6 beats per minute and get that huge ocean of swelling out from that area. We got to help it. That's why everybody raves about these massages, because it gets you out of your garment quicker. It gets you healed quicker. It gets all the congestion out of that space so that you heal. So your massages are super, super important. I know they don't stress that at Elite, but guys, it really is. So your garment, you're going to schedule a virtual with me. Your therapist in your post-op massages, you're going to buy the course. All your products, you're going to go get them, and you're going to be fine. I also teach you in the course like about the water and avoiding the salt and all those things as far as like, you know, what you need to be doing to make sure that you're eating properly. I think that's it. So let's wrap this up in a nice little bow. Elite's post-op care sheet is very scarce. Elite does not give you post-op instructions. Elite will tell you to massage yourself. Please don't do that. Please don't do that. Elite will give you garments that are just random garments. You need better garments. Elite will not teach you how to take care of your wounds. Elite will not teach you how to take care of your swelling. Elite will teach you nothing. Elite is amazing just for the surgery. Everything I covered in this video is what you need to be doing to heal properly without complications. Because if you only follow the instructions that are on the sheet or the instructions that are given to you, you're going to wind up not healing properly. You're going to wind up down the deep dive rabbit hole of Instagram and YouTube and Facebook groups and all these TikTok people and things and My Journey stuff where they're using things that are not medically okay after surgery. And we're going to wind up in trouble. So I think you should get surgery at Elite. I think they're fantastic. I think their surgery is quick and easy, in and out, 1, 2, 3, but I think you need to do it properly. I think you need to make sure that you are getting the proper aftercare, you're being smart about it, you're being educated, which is why I created the course, is so that you can be educated and make the right decisions for yourself as far as post-op. But that's pretty much it, guys. If you need me, 732-841-0142. Call the office. Schedule a virtual with me. Pre-op. Please, pre-op. So we can get this going before you're all cranky and in pain and in a garment and mad at Elite because they didn't give you any post-op care. Because you guys get so mad at them when it's not their job. It's mine. You just got to find me. But 732-841-0142. You can schedule a virtual with me. We'll get you prepared for surgery. We'll make sure you have everything you need for your specific surgery. And we'll go over diet again. And we'll go over everything that's in the course again. But no, I'm not going to find you a therapist because I don't know where you live. And on top of that, I'm not in the room with you. I could verify credentials all day over the phone. But when I get in that room, or when you get in that room, I can't smack their hand away every time they try to use oil on you. You have to have that information to discern for yourself. Because I've done that. I've done the whole, I will find you a therapist, put in the work, called a bunch of places, you get there, and they're using a heating pad on you. I can't control everything, guys. I wish I could, but I can't. So you need to advocate for yourself. But the link to the course is on our Instagram. It is also on our online shop when you go to get your products. It is in the description box below. The link to our online shop is in the description box below. If you are in New Jersey or New York or Connecticut or Pennsylvania, because that's where I get all my Elite people from, is all those places. I am in New Jersey, Highland Park, and Elizabeth. You guys can come in. I can do all the post-op for you, and I can do your massages for you and make sure you heal properly. That's pretty much it, guys. That's all I got to say about Elite. I know that's a lot, but that's it. All right, everybody. Ashley with Amare. I will see you guys next week. Bye.